Hey, isn't this exciting?
It is. Here we are at the Andrew Jackson Hotel. It seems like we've been trying to get here for months.
I know. And on All Saints Day, I'm so excited. And at the time of the year when the veil is the thinnest between the worlds.
And you can just feel the electricity here. And I think that whoever is here may know that we're here too.
I think they do. I was feeling a little bit of that when I first walked into the building. I could feel a little bit of a temperature change too. So it's so very exciting. Let's tell people how it is that we kind of came to do what we're doing tonight.
Okay.
I can start if you want.
You go ahead, Cari.
I'm New Orleans psychic medium Cari Roy, and I have been doing paranormal investigations since about the early 90s now. One of the first TV shows that I ever did was a paranormal investigation of 732 Royal Street, upstairs there, and it was in the mid-90s. And then later, I started working with a team, a parapsychologist from California, came to New Orleans, had been from New Orleans, moved to California to kind of pursue education and other things like that, and came back to New Orleans wanting to do the paranormal investigations of most of the hotels and restaurants here. I was involved in a lot of those, the old Le Petit Theater, oh boy, I've just investigated so many of them, but never the Andrew Jackson Hotel. And I'm so excited to be doing this because it is, from everything that, I'm feeling when we walk in the door, it feels like this is one of the haunted hotels of New Orleans.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Well, Cari and I, we met, we knew of each other,
yes.
But we actually met, my wife had gifted me a reading
yes.
With you. For my birthday this year, and we just kind of just hit it off and just psychically or whatever, and I'd always thought that I may had like maybe a gift or so, but I wasn't really sure, and so you confirmed that for me.
I certainly did. I could feel it all in you that you were, when I was doing that reading, as soon as you sat down, I was like, she is hella intuitive, man. I really could feel it, and sensitive. I could feel all of that from you in the reading. And then, you could go and say how that's been happening for
well,
you.
We have actually been filming. This is our first time filming live, and we do have some episodes of Paranormal New Orleans that'll be coming up at the end of the month, towards the end of the month. But this is our first live one, and it's such an honor for me, especially for someone kind of starting out on my, I don't know what to call it, maybe psychic journey, but to have someone like you that's really respected in the field and really known in New Orleans, and not just New Orleans, but everywhere, it really means a lot to me that you kind of took me under your wing, and I'm kind of learning a lot from you. So I really appreciate that.
Yes, thank you so much for really getting me out of, I do really now, primarily I do psychic and medium readings in my office in the CBD, and I have not done a paranormal investigation. I hadn't done one for, it was probably, I want to say the last time I did it was before Katrina, so we're time, and prior to that, again, I'd done a lot of places in the quarter. I'd done Anne Rice's properties, which was phenomenal to do, and I thought that, I had done that, and I just went on to doing what I usually do, and then meeting with you that day, and how you and I clicked, and your desire and your earnestness and your passion about the subject really just woke this back up in me. So thank you, and thank you for being my protege.
Yes.
I appreciate it so much, and it's thank you for entrusting me with helping your gift blossom.
Well, it sounds like to me we have a mutual admiration society thing going on here, and I really, like I said, I really appreciate it. We're here, and we're going to be investigating different rooms and of the Andrew Jackson. We don't know a lot going in.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Especially Cari doesn't know as much because you don't watch a lot of TV and stuff, and so you don't really do so that's always good, like when you're a psychic, not to know anything. You come in with like a blank slate, and so I know some people that are watching may not know the difference between a psychic and a medium.
Okay, yes. Well, a psychic is somebody who has the ability to tune in to people's potentials. Everybody walks around, I believe, with an energy around us that holds everything that ever was and anything that ever will be in our lives. And so somebody with psychic ability can kind of tap into that and lead the boundaries of time and space, continuum here, and I can go backwards, I can go forwards, and as a psychic, you can do the same thing. You sense, things that are going to happen before they happen. Many people have psychic ability. I believe everybody has some of it. Some people, it's going to be stronger, like yours is very, very strong. Mine is strong, plus I've been doing it for, it's like 40 years now, so practice, practice, practice. It's like any muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But a psychic looks at things like romance, career, health, family, what somebody's life purpose is, and tries to let people know what's coming for them, what opportunities are coming for them. Let them know some of the, underlying things of relationships, of career things, and really brings that to light. A medium connects with the departed. A medium is going beyond the veil and connecting with people's loved ones. When I do it in my office, it's mostly people who have lost departed loved ones and come to me for some kind of a closure and understanding about that. But in a paranormal investigation, the medium stuff is that you are tuning into the building. You're tuning into the entities that are here that you have no real connection to. Like, I don't know who, I'm not related to any of the dead people that are here that I know of. As we go further in, we'll see what happens.
Right.
But they're not our personal loved ones. So what we're tapping into here is really the stuff that is unique to this particular structure and the history of this structure and what happened here and who may linger. And not every psychic is a medium. Most mediums do have psychic ability because they can sense things. They're getting information from departed loved ones, and the departed loved ones may be able to say what's going to happen in the future and weigh in on some things like that. But not every psychic is a medium. It's a different skill set. It really is.
So if you're blessed with both.
Yes. Yeah.
Then that's.
Yes.
Yeah.
I started exhibiting medium abilities before I started exhibiting psychic abilities. When I was about 7, and it was on Wall Street here, I was with my mother, and we were walking. It was in the middle of the summer. There was nobody here, and all of a sudden, it looked like it was packed like Mardi Gras. And I fainted. It was too overwhelming for me. So my first experience was actually seeing dead people. I honed my psychic ability through dreams and other things like that. In starting out, my mama taught me how to use the tarot cards and things like that. She helped me, I would help her, like doing seances and stuff. So it was encouraged in me. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that. If they start showing any kind of psychic ability or mediumship ability when they're youngins, the grown-ups will usually shut that down.
And that's really what happened to me.
Yeah.
Was when I was around, 9, 10, something like that, and I started seeing, and like I never could sleep really good, and there was always stuff in my room, and they would pray for me and make the sign of the cross with the oil and everything. It was really like TV stuff.
Yeah.
But, so it, I kind of suppressed it until recently.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, we have a lot to cover here.
We sure do. It's I'm surprised, just from the second, right?
I totally agree.
Right, to the things that you're paying attention to see how our body normal action will bring out and try to do like yeah. So I think that was a little bit of a welcome sign. So we're already.
They're like, get started, Cari. We're ready for you. Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
So we do have some equipment, but like you said, the biggest and best thing to do is if you're a psychic or a medium, and that is to have confidence in yourself, what you feel.
Yes.
And number 2, they're not always needed.
Sure, I think that there are people, and we may bring some in, you
Right,
know,
right.
and later as we are progressing with the program.
Yes.
There are people who really are really good at that part of it, using the detection equipment.
Yes.
You know, and they're special.
And that's a gift because they have like special equipment techs
Sure,
and people,
yeah.
because a lot of it, the paranormal has gotten so equipment, yes,
Yeah.
driven, and it's not anything wrong with that, but you have to be really versed into using the things correctly.
Oh, sure. And they need to be paying attention to that stuff right on it, because it could be a fluctuation in temperature can be like a second. The things that you can pick up on the magnetometer or the EMF, the electromagnetic frequency measurement devices, those can shift in just a sec. So they have to be completely focused on that, where folks like us are.
We just focus on what we do.
Yes.
And then what we'll also do is probably after tomorrow or something, we'll probably rewatch everything to see if sometimes you catch things that you don't even realize, or like disembodied voices or orbs or something, and you may not. I mean, you don't know, you know, what you can do. Would you like us to bring out the dowsing rods now and kind of show everybody? These are more, you know.
Those are, you know, it's a controversial thing, but I like them. I've never had a problem with and I came up calling them the L rods. Dowsing rods is another way of doing that. But L rods are, here we go. Thank you so much. L rods are, these are copper. They say copper is very conductive to any kind of paranormal phenomenon. And so what we're going to do is you are going to hold on to these, and I'm going to ask some questions. And what anybody at home, you can make these or you can purchase these. These work in the same way probably something like a Ouija board or something like that works, in that the spirits can move the object. So we ask questions while you're holding them, and we ask the spirits to move the rods to indicate either a yes or no, positive or negative response. And we can find out a lot of information using these. I like them for doing televox things because it allows the audience to see what we are sensing and feeling. It's an external, you know, it really is something that they can watch and see the things move themselves.
Definitely. Yeah. So I'm not going to be asking any questions because we don't want any vibration or movement or anything, and you know, to do. So what I'm going to do is just hold these, and then Cari's going to ask the questions.
Yes, and we're going to stay very steady.
Right.
You want to get heavy in your feet, and send all of the weight down into your feet to kind of act like an anchor. You're holding the rods perfectly. You want to hold them about chest height. And keep your arms next to your body. That way you are going to have the least amount of movement. And so I'm going to kick it off here by asking the rods, and really I'm asking the spirits, if there is anybody here at the Andrew Jackson Hotel tonight that would like to communicate with us. Can you please move the rods to cross each other? If you would like to communicate with us, if you're here and you would like to speak with us, please move the rods. Okay, see, we got an affirmative. Could you feel that?
Yeah,
can you feel that?
I can actually feel the vibration in my hands when they're doing it.
Yeah. You can feel, some people feel like an electricity that's shooting down your arms. I've used them in the past, and you definitely can feel it.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's pulling. They pull on them, and you can feel them pull on them. So what we're going to ask them to do is, can you please uncross the rods for us? Would you please uncross the rods and show us your abilities? Thank you. Thank you. See, check that out, right?
Great.
We really, really appreciate you permitting us to be here in your space, and we appreciate any information that you could help us garner as to who you are and as to why you're here. Are you connected to the Andrew Jackson Hotel? Are you connected to this location? If so, can you please cross the rods? If you are connected to this location, can you please cross the rods? I think you're trying. But let's give it a
Yeah, it's pulling.
If you are, okay,
There you go.
they're connected. If this is more than one, can you please allow only one of you to communicate at a time? I think you're getting that. I think it's more than one. Okay, are you a male or a female? If you are a male, can you please uncross the rods? If you are a male, can you please uncross the rods? Okay, we have a male. If you are between the age of 10 to 20, can you please cross the rods? If you are of age 10 to 20, can you please cross the rods? If you are the age of 20 to 40, can you please cross the rods? Well, I would say that that's an affirmative. We're going to just wait a second here until the vibrations are and we're going to ask another question. But did you feel that as an affirmative? So
I did. I also, if you could re-ask about the 10 to 20.
Okay.
Because I think that it felt like they were trying to do something. Okay. I may be wrong, but let's ask that again.
Okay. So
okay, let me get reset.
Okay, that's good. If there is a spirit here who is under the age of 20, if you are under the age of 20, can you please cross the rods?
See it?
I think we asked for one at a time, so I'm thinking let's go with the one that is 20 to 40 years old, male. If you lived in the 1800s, would you please cross the rods? Okay. If you lived in the 1900s, would you please cross the rods? If you lived in the 1900s, would you please cross the rods? Okay, let's go back. If you lived in the 1700s, would you please cross the rods? If you lived in the 1700s, would you please cross the rods? Okay, this is an old one, feels like. This may be when this structure was even built. This feels like they're connected to the area. Wow, okay.
I'm gonna reset again. Feel this because they're actually like in my hands, kind of right here. This part's kind of pulsating. So,
boy, 1700s. That's impressive. Mm-hmm. I kept feeling 1800s, but I think that this is 1700s was what they responded to. Let me ask that again. If you lived here. In the 1800s, if you lived in the 1800s, would you please cross the rods? If you lived in the 1800s, would you please cross the rods? If you lived in the 1700s, if you lived here in the 1700s, would you please cross the rods?
Let's try.
Yep. That's an affirmative. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, yeah. How are you feeling?
I don't know. I just feel like, well, there's somebody here evidently, and it feels like to me like it's a male.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, the reason I wanted you to ask the 20 or below,
Yeah.
because I'm actually getting that it's somebody here that's younger.
Oh, I think we have a lot of people here.
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah.
I think that,
But I'm saying, yeah, that
yes.
yes, and I'm sure there is
Yeah.
somebody here 20 to 40, but
Yeah.
I think that there is probably some younger.
Yeah, yeah. I was feeling younger as well. But I think with the rods, one of the difficulties that you have with the rods is that you can't have a party line with it.
Right.
Right. It has to be, they like you.
You sure? Okay. They kind of pointed at you too.
Okay, thanks.
They like us both.
They like us both, yeah. So what you have to do is try to narrow it down to one person having a communication at a time. And right now it looks like they're just enjoying playing with this because it is fun to do for spirits. I've seen them spin, I've seen them do all sorts of crazy things. But we've got something that is very, I was feeling it, and I know you're feeling it.
Oh yeah, I actually just felt in my arm just now.
This is a very good demonstration of how to use these rods. Misty, you're doing great, really.
Thank you.
For a beginner, you're doing just great.
Are you through with these now, or you want us to take them?
Let's
hold them? Okay.
Yeah, hold them for a second. We've identified that we have a male.
Okay.
From the 1700s, so that is probably prior to when this was built. What I found in the quarter is because it's really like a paranormal petri dish here. You find all sorts of ages. They may not be constrained to this one particular property. They could be in the quarters.
Right.
And they're just coming, they were within this area and they're coming to, so it'll be interesting when we do the backstory and find out all of the history about this.
Well, not only that, I think sometimes happens when the spirits knows that a medium or psychic is coming. They actually know before you know that you're coming.
They do. They can sense us.
Once that you're there, like you may have some from over there coming over here, and because it's like the best way I can describe it, it's like you're a beacon.
Yeah, like a light gets thrown.
Right, like you're a beacon, and then you know that they come towards you, and so that's
they sure do.
Oh, we're at the hotel, and they do have guests, so.
And so what I think we got to do is start looking around. Yeah, these floaters, that's what I always called them, the floaters.
Hitchhikers.
Right. They kind of sense that people can communicate with them, and so they become very active within a radius of this area. And so this would have been a very populated part of the quarter. There weren't probably in the history of the city buku people in the, I'm thinking it's probably the later 1700s is from what I was picking up. And that could be that somebody was born then and they actually lived in the 1800s as well. But this male that I'm feeling here feels very proprietary though. So that makes me wonder, what the structural history of this place is and the area, what had been here prior to. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of changes that happened in the quarters in the 1800s because of the fire, I believe. I'm not a historian, so I may have my dates wrong, but I know that there were parts of the quarter that had to be rebuilt, and some original structures were burnt down, and we're very close. For those of you who are in the 900 block of Royal Street. The cathedral is really like the 600 block. And so we're very close to where the cathedral is, and that was the hub of the city. It really was. That was where, Jackson Square, right? Jackson Square, and the cathedral were the hub of the city. So we are in a very historic, the core, it's a paranormal petri dish. Mm-hmm. Every brick has been bled on. I feel that one of the reasons why we're so haunted is because we are so old. We also have dramatic lives. We ourselves, I've been through a bunch of disasters going back to Betsy, right? So we've lived through hard times. And we've had hurricanes, we've had fires, we've had all sorts of stuff. We were occupied, during the Civil War. So we've had a lot of rough history here.
And a rough present. 2020 ain't nothing nice either.
Ain't nothing nice either. No. Yeah, and the way they're racking up ghosts here, it's unfortunate. Just in the last couple days, we've had a bunch of people that are now ghosts,
right,
who weren't a couple days before. So
something just touched me just now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like this place is a real hubbub of the paranormal stuff. So I'm so excited to be here. I think we should probably, what do you think, walk?
Yeah, let's walk and let's investigate some of the rooms and see what we get on there. Okay.
I think that's great.
And y'all just come along with us, and
yes,
we appreciate
yeah.
our production staff of Catherine and Jeffrey
yes, we do.
Palmquist. So thank y'all for helping us out.
So thank the Andrew Jackson Hotel.
Yes, thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Yes, for allowing us to be here this evening. Again, All Saints Day. It is, the veil is the thinnest right around now, and we are just coming off a big full moon. So let's move around and let's go into this.
Okay, let's go this way.
We'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great.
Before breaking our necks.
We are going to go now into room 103 and see. After you, Cari.
Thank you. Oh, isn't this lovely? You see, we got maps here.
Right.
How things used to look. The quarter looked different. There were things, building structures that were closer to the river. We're still a busy port, but in old days, I mean, it was just, the port was packed. The river was packed. So many people coming down the Mississippi, coming in here. So really, there's been a lot of people who have just come and gone. And these maps are very interesting and give an idea about how the city has changed over the centuries. The centuries. Yeah.
What I'm actually getting in this room, and one thing that is kind of I wouldn't say difficult to decipher, but sometimes you don't always know. It may be residual.
Oh, yes, residual energy.
Right, residual energy. And for those of you who don't know, that's when the time is kind of like in a loop.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it just it just kind of plays over and over again. But actually, in here, I actually feel a female.
Yeah.
She is kind of going about her business.
Okay.
Doing whatever she did, like busying herself, maybe same room and structure that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Of a home, maybe like a kitchen type, that she's kind of like busying herself around in.
Sure.
But that's, I get more of a female energy in this room.
Yes, residual, there are two types of hauntings. One is residual energy, which is, as Misty was saying, record, an event is imprinted in time, and so you can feel what had happened, but it's more like looking at a photograph, and there is no consciousness connected to it.
Right. She'll go like she's going about doing, it's like she doesn't see us.
Sure. Yeah. No,
like it's not in
recognition. Yeah.
So do you mind just seeing?
Oh, absolutely.
Like if it's a female, right?
Sure.
And if I'm wrong, I'll buy y'all a hamburger.
Hey, clever girl.
All right.
And she is. We'll ascertain if she's male or female. And
right.
The time period. And this means if the spirit communicates, that means that it is a conscious haunting, right? That means that they are aware that we're here and are willing to communicate with us. Not so you may have in this space, you can have residual and
an intelligent,
conscious entities. So we're going to start this off. Get comfy, get steady. Get the rods steady. Wow, they want to move. If there is anyone in this room, if there is a spirit in this room, would you please cross the rods? Would you please cross the rods? Okay, we got some action going on here. If you are a female, would you please uncross the rods? If you are a female, would you please uncross the rods? That's an affirmative. If you lived in the 1800s, if you lived in the 1800s, will you please cross the rods? If you lived in the 1800s, would you please cross the rods? If you died in the 1800s, would you please cross the rods? Sometimes they really recall the last parts of their lives, so it could be that she was somebody who died in the 1800s. She could have been born maybe in the 1700s.
And if her name was Ellen,
I got an L. I got an L.
Okay.
Yes, I got an L.
Okay.
Same thing that I was looking.
Okay, let's try that.
If your name has an L in the name, if your name has the letter L in your name, can you please cross the rods? If your name has the letter L in it, would you please cross the rods? I think that's an affirmative. So when Misty and I say we feel things, or we see things, or we know things, this is from our psychic ability. And it is something that you can, really, it's just like information that you know. It's hard to describe. It's like a book that you've read before, and you know exactly where that line is. So what are you feeling physically?
Physically, I feel kind of heavier up here, and that's one of the ways, like when I know a spirit is, and around me, I feel kind of heavier. I get kind of short of breath.
Yep.
But also the weird thing about me, one of them, when I and it's hard, like it gets harder for me to talk when I start feeling it stronger. But one of the things that's kind of weird for me, that I don't know if anybody else, in the paranormal world, if they feel that way, but I actually start feeling this sensation here in both of my arms.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is it
Who
like
knows?
Tingling?
It's more like a burning, kind of a burning type. I just feel like that's another one of my, like when I walk in somewhere and all of a sudden my arm just starts burning in the same place on both sides all of a sudden. That's one of my, I guess, tells that that you have.
Yes.
So what are some of your tells?
Now it's just like knowing stuff. It's just like you walk in and you know,
You're right.
I know it. It used to be that I would have, I'd start to feel like a racing heartbeat. A lot of the same things that you would get from what they call fight or flight.
Yeah.
Which is, we all have what they call an aura around us, and science has just released something that they've got some real good stuff backing up that we really do have this aura around us. And we can sense when something is coming into this safe space that we have. There's an English gentleman, Rupert Sheldrake. He did a series of experiments where he had people sitting and they could tell when somebody was looking at them. They felt it. They weren't facing the person. They didn't even know if anybody was in the room or not. But they accurately said when somebody was looking at them that they could sense it. So it isn't even that somebody needs to walk into your sacred space. You can even have somebody staring and putting their energy in that space, and people will feel that. So what happens with fight or flight is that when something does step into that safe space, your adrenaline goes choom, and that's what starts to cause racing heartbeat, sweaty palms. I used to get sweaty palms.
Okay.
I used to be, in the old days, I would have some uncontrollable laughter happen because I was feeling like uneasy. And so it was almost like somebody was tickling me. Okay. And another thing, I used to get information what felt like it was coming in the back part of my head. is where I would feel like the information was coming in. And I also have frequencies in my ears, which is just weird. I've had it since I was a kid. I don't believe it's tinnitus or tinnitus, however you say that. It changes pitch, and the volume of it goes up and down. So it'll be high pitched, sometimes with some spirits, low pitched with other spirits, and it also becomes louder or softer depending on the amount of activity. So those are just some of mine. Usually what it is though is it's like, it's like, okay, I know who you are. Like, you're somebody I've met before, you're somebody I know, and you get information like you were picking up when you were saying it's a woman and 1800s and the L sound in her name. That's what I call the knowing. That's pure intuitive ability, pure psychic ability, and mediumship. So very cool. Yeah. So we have this woman here who is from the 1800s. And what I like to ask too is if she...
You ready for me to get ready?
Sure.
Okay.
But I will also ask if there are any other things that she can do physically in this world to show us that she is here. If she can manifest, we are filming. If she can speak, again, we are filming. And so let's pay attention to some noises. For 1 second, I'm going to close the door because there are some noises that are out there and I don't want us confusing them. Okay. Let's give her and us a little privacy. I'm going to sit on the bed for a second and ask questions while you're standing there.
All right.
Okay, we've ascertained that it is a woman.
Correct.
She's from the 1800s. We were both getting the letter L. I wasn't getting an Ellen or Eleanor or something like that. We got that. Let's see if we can find out if she lived here and what her energy is. Okay, get steady. Okay. If you were steady again. If you lived in the Andrew Jackson Hotel or in this building, if you lived in this building, can you please cross the rods? If you lived in this building, would you please cross the rods? If you worked in this building, would you please cross the rods? That's what I felt. I felt she worked here. Now, I don't know the history of the place, so I can't even venture to guess what capacity she would have worked here as. In the 1800s, what we will do after we do this, we will wrap up and get the history and see if we can connect the dots for what it is that we are picking up and what it is that the rods are letting us know. So when she did not, when she said she did not live here, I felt psychically that she worked here. That's what I felt as a medium, as a psychic. And so that's the reason that I asked that question. They can be real particular, and you have to be very, very specific when you're asking questions of spirits. They are a little anal retentive about that kind of stuff, so you can't really be vague. So we try to pinpoint. Do you, let me think, what should we ask her? Do you protect this space? Do you protect this space? If you're here to protect this space, would you please cross the rods? If you're here to protect this space, would you please cross the rods? Yeah. Yeah. That's what I felt. So she worked here, she's here to protect the place. Were you a Housekeeper here. Were you a housekeeper here? If you were a housekeeper here, please cross the rods. She feels very happy. What I sense from her is nothing
negative.
Nothing negative at all. And this is the thing. Majority of paranormal happenings, majority of haunts are positive. It makes for really good TV if we were running around here screaming at the top of our lungs, going, ah,
right,
death, destruction. But that's really not always the case. Most spirits are friendly. Most spirits are happy. They are here because they want to be here. There are some that get lost. There are some that get confused. But what has been my experience in paranormal investigations, especially the quarter where it's so old, is that a lot of them are not experiencing time the same way that we're experiencing time here. What I learned coming up as a medium and a psychic is that when they say that when you die, your life flashes before your eyes. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Right? Have y'all ever heard that? Mm-hmm. I was told when I was younger that that was for review. And that didn't make any sense to me because I thought if you're reviewing it, then why is it going by so fast? If you were reviewing it when you take some time. And what I came to understand is what it is that is how this looks once you cross over to the other side. This is so fast. It goes by the same way it flashes before your eyes. Where spirits dwell, in the dimensions that they dwell in, time is not the thing like it is here. And it's accelerated when they're looking at this, it's going by pretty quickly. So a lot of times we might ask, what the heck are you still doing here? You've been 1800s, why are you here? And the majority of times they really don't know that it's been that long. Very fascinating. I've had spirits from the 1800s say they thought that they were dead for a few hours.
Well, let me ask you about this. That's why like some spirits, like you're watching like paranormal shows,
yes.
and they get confused and they
yes.
don't realize that they're dead and
yes.
they're in the house and they
yes.
want you out of the house
yes.
because
yes.
they don't understand what's going on.
True. Yeah. They're disconnected. They're almost completely disconnected from this reality. Some of them are confused, some of them are, I don't want to say stuck, but they're just not getting with the program that they got to go into the light and cross. Others are...
Just stop for a second. All of a sudden when you were speaking, I just felt so sad.
Yeah.
Like just how sad. I don't know why that came over me, but I fought the tears, and
sure.
I'm still fighting the tears. Just sadness, just
you know why?
completely washed over me.
Sure.
You know why? Because I'm being pulled to the other room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wonder if that has something to do with that.
It could very well be. We'll
yeah.
move on into the
yeah.
next room. But I always thank spirits.
Yes. Thank you.
Let's be polite. This is their space and she is protecting it. And so we want to say thank you for allowing us to come into this space and to allow us to connect with her. They don't have to do that. It's a kindness that they do with us, that they want to let us know that they are still here.
Right.
Also, another thing I just wanted to say is that they're not always stuck. Many of them have crossed over and just decide to stay. You know, they've been to the other side and this was where they love to be. So it isn't that they can't cross over. Some of them have and come back. It's the same thing with our departed loved ones. They can come and give us signs. They can come and give us messages. That doesn't mean that they're stuck here, but they have the freedom, no body, no need for any vehicle. They can come and go wherever they want. So it's not, I don't like this thing where everybody thinks spirits are trapped and, you know,
right.
I think that a lot of them stay in places because it was the place that they loved. And it represents
and we love New Orleans.
We love New Orleans.
Yeah.
Look at how many people come here.
Right.
Every year we had something like 1 million people come from Mardi Gras. So spirits like to stay here. We really,
I can
yeah.
understand that.
And we pay attention to them. We really pay attention to them.
We celebrate them,
And
you know.
celebrate them like we're doing today on
Yeah.
All Saints Day. Another thing I just wanted to mention real quick is that spirits, again, not only are they not necessarily stuck here, but I feel that they enjoy communicating. They want to let us know that they're here. They know that we're here, and they want us to know that they're here too. So,
Yeah.
Well, shall we?
Let's go to the next room.
Okay.
I'm
so
getting so
interested.
pulled. When I tell
Yes.
you, like pulled, it's like this side of my body from my cheeks down, my chest over is like tingling and like going.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah.
Let's do this. Thank you.
Thank you, L lady.
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry about that.
All right. We are getting ready to go into room 104. Now, I don't know about you, Cari. I'm feeling different
Yes.
with
I
this
do.
room.
Yeah, I feel different as soon as we walked out to the
Yeah,
courtyard.
like-
and I get what you're feeling here because I'm starting to feel it on my side. It's on
Right.
on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and how are you feeling now?
Okay.
Better? Yeah.
Like I said, it was just this intense, all of a sudden rush of just complete and utter sadness.
Yeah.
And once I spoke, it was gone. I guess it just kind of went away that quick because I was acknowledging that I was feeling sadness.
Yes.
I don't know.
How are we doing? I was just looking at my battery. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so room 104 we're going to do next.
Well, looks like the ghost has been here already.
Actually,
Or room service has it.
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is totally
feels
different.
Yeah, it does.
They actually had a lady that was staying in here just an hour or so ago.
Oh, wow.
And for some reason, I don't know, they moved her to another room.
Oh.
So that's why this looks
Yeah.
kind of different.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm certain with the heart palpitations a little bit in here.
yeah, this is a totally different feeling from that room 103.
Yeah.
And this 104 is totally different to me.
Yeah, and they're right next to each other. I don't feel a woman anymore.
Hmm.
I don't feel a woman. I feel another. I feel actually somebody younger, who's not particularly happy that we're here.
We get that a lot. Is it us? No.
Get that from the living
Yeah,
people too.
we
I
do.
know.
What's up?
Yeah.
So Mel,
Yeah, I feel a male. Yeah, I can see you're flushed.
I'm going to say he is the one, the 20 to 40.
Oh, it could be the same guy. Yeah, but yeah, I'm actually feeling a little younger. I'm feeling somebody a little younger. Could be 20 or under 20. Feels younger to me. And I keep hearing an R.
See, I doubted myself when I said the 20 to 40
Yeah.
because I was like, no, that the things didn't do, so it couldn't be. But I should have went with what I first
Sure,
felt,
absolutely.
which was 20 and under.
And under, yeah. Yeah, oh, when you are having psychic and paranormal experiences, edit later. Let it flow through you, kind of stream of consciousness. Too many times we close the door on our ability to have paranormal experiences because we start questioning our own sanity. Now that's cool to question, make sure that a cold spot isn't because you're underneath like an AC vent. You want
Right.
to check those things. But when you're having the feelings, let it go, let it come out of you, and you can censor it later. You can qualify things later, but don't, you were saying about second guessing yourself, don't do it.
Okay.
You may say something crazy. I mean, for some people, they're going to think that every single thing we're saying tonight is crazy.
Right.
So, don't stop yourself. If you felt that,
Yes,
go with
I
that.
did. And, you know, once I couldn't guess myself, I'll just go with it. But I did. At first, I was, going to say 20 and below, and I was like, no, wait, that can't be right. So it's more, I think sometimes we're so pressured to be 100% correct every single time. And no one even on TV, no one is 100% correct.
No. And
at all
I
times.
say this all the time. If you go to somebody who is a psychic or a medium who gives you 100%, they say that they have 100% accuracy, get up and run. Not everybody is 100% accurate.
Right.
There's always a margin for error in everything that we do. You want to go for, I was tested at one point, and I want to say the accuracy rate that they gave me was somewhere around, I think it was like 80%, which is
That's
high.
good. That's very high,
That's
yes.
really high when you're thinking about it, so I've heard people say the 100%, and I'm like,
no.
And also not very humble.
Right, and that's one thing I've always that you've always said to me is about the humbleness, to be humble, to to not
self-aggrandize.
Right.
Yeah, not you. We are a vessel. I'm just a vessel. You're a vessel. We are a piece of detection equipment. We sense things. It isn't. Again, I don't think I'm gifted per se, or any more gifted than other people are. I've just done something for a very long time. You're getting all of this experience. It builds on the experiences that you have. Your abilities will grow. So yeah, I think you're off to a great start with this stuff. So let's see if we can have some communications, huh?
It's the mail.
Okay, let's talk about the mail.
Okay, I got an initial for a name.
Okay.
B.
Okay.
I think I know the name, but I'm not.
Okay, sure.
But I think his name starts with a B. So let's test it.
Okay. Okay, let's get him steady.
Let me get grounded.
Get
Okay.
grounded. If there is a spirit in this room who would like to communicate with us, can you please cross the rods? If there's a spirit here that would like to communicate with us, can you please cross the rods? Totally different deal. Yeah. There was a little unsureness to start with, so they got them that they can do this. Okay, if you are a male, can you please uncross the rods? If you are a male, can you please uncross the rods? Okay, that's a yes. Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little queasy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that this one doesn't want us here. Would you like us to leave the room? If you would like us to leave the room, can you please cross the rods? I would say that's a yes. My sense is that the spirit doesn't want us here.
I'm gonna do his name.
I think in these instances, when they really don't want us here, I always try to be respectful and say, this is your space.
All right, let's do
This
it.
is not our space.
Because I'm like really,
I got
like
queasy.
feeling, yeah.
Yeah, I got him.
Why do you think I got out of that corner?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
look,
he kept
we're crossed.
We're crossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go. Yeah. Thank
Whew.
you. Thank you. And we will abide by that.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. We got got the Bourbon Street crowd going on in the background too. Let's hope we don't get any floaters from over there.
Ain't no telling what we'll get from
Yeah,
there.
oh my-
We have room, let's see.
Well, this is kind
I don't know. There's a story there, but
it's
you know,
used.
yeah.
Yeah, this was during the Civil War time. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on here.
Very true.
Even before that, yeah. Yeah.
All right. I think. Oh, we have a room down there. I mean, 107. I think. If you whenever.
Let's go 107. Yeah.
Or are you feeling anything right now?
I'm just feeling a little lightheaded.
Okay.
I still think it's that spirit. I think that spirit didn't want us in that room.
I don't think he wanted that lady in that room, too.
That
And that's
could
why,
very well be.
like, he made her uncomfortable or whatever, and that's why that she had to move upstairs because he didn't want her in there either.
Yeah. And for those of you who have not had paranormal experiences, you definitely know what's going on. You feel it.
Let me help you
yeah.
out here. There you go.
Yeah, you feel it. You can feel lightheaded. You can feel nauseous. You can feel dizzy. You can feel sad. You can feel giddy, depending on what the spirit is feeling at the time. You can, if you're an empath, right? Empaths have the ability to feel the feelings of others. That Kat's definitely an empath. And you're an empath, I'm an empath, but I'm more a psychic medium because it's hard to do this and feel it all the time, right? So you have
Right.
to be able to kind of turn the feels down.
And I'm learning to do that.
Yes.
To kind of, just, try to be able to shut it off sometimes, because if you don't, it like kind of runs your life.
Oh, very
you have no
intrusive.
kind of, sleep, no. So you have to kind of, learn how to shut that off.
Yes, yes. That's my mother when she taught me when I first had that experience on Royal Street back in it was
right.
like 1967 or something. And she taught me at that time after she figured out what had happened to me, because she was also a medium. She said, "Little girl, we're going to teach you to turn this off before we teach you to turn it back on," because I was terrified when I first started seeing people who passed. It scared me. It really did.
Oh, yeah.
And even as a little girl, I'm like, am I losing my mind? I mean, and I think people do question their experiences, and they're like, I'm just making it up, or it's just coincidence.
I'm tired,
I'm
or
tired,
stressed, yeah.
and all this. And my response to that is that people are not usually selective.
Hey, attached to us. Would stay.
You're braver. Oh, now this is differently.
Yeah, this is more.
I was wondering what that beacon is too. It's been going for a while.
I don't know.
We can follow it. It sounds like it's.
You want to come back over here?
Sure.
Okay,
stop
let's.
here for just a
We'll
second.
wait in a bit.
Oh, wait. We're in the courtyard now. Courtyards, from my experiences in properties in the quarter, courtyards are often very active with paranormal stuff. The courtyard at Brennan's, the Quarter Two Sisters. I've done investigations there,
Oh,
and
nice.
they're very active. Even here, I'm getting a little lightheaded in this area. So I also keep getting a lot of running around. I keep feeling like spirits running around. This is strange, but I feel like there could be kids here. That's always a interesting experience when they're spirits, because they like to play still. They tend to like to play.
And you know what? I'm 100% agreement with you, because today we did our talk show live here
Yes.
Earlier for a couple of hours, Jeffrey and I. And as we were sitting at the table over here, and up, I don't know if you can get a shot or not, but there's a balcony, or is that what you call that?
Yeah.
Up there. And it was, I happened to look up, and it was literally, I could feel probably about 2 or 3 younger children kind of like watching to see what we were doing, like they were just kind of standing there like watching us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, that kind of,
Yeah. When we do
you know.
when we do the research after this to see what happened here, it would be interesting what the kid angle is, because I definitely feel kid stuff.
oh yeah, and you can feel it, like you said, you feel it more in this area,
like there's a
and
play area or
right,
something.
right.
Yeah.
So, did you want to?
I'm having a lot of physical. You know, have you seen anything weird on the camera?
Your camera, a couple of times, I'm not sure if the viewers can see it,
Okay.
or if I'm just able to, but when you've asked questions, the camera literally kind of flickers.
Oh,
Kind of,
goodness.
like a real quick zoom back out.
Oh,
Very cool.
So, or the lighting will completely change. Like it'll be darker, and all of a sudden, to me, it looks brighter.
Okay.
I don't know if that's visible to them or if it's just what I'm able to see.
Well, we'll actually be able to. We're going to
Just
upload
like
this
right
stuff
now,
onto
it just went
YouTube.
brighter,
Right.
and now it's dark again.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm
Wow.
not sure why it's doing that.
hey, if you can see, if a viewer and can see that going on right now, mention it in the comments, so we'll know.
Please do. Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you want to walk around the courtyard a little bit and do that? Yeah, let's just see, you know, what's going, and then we can not read, but go
Now, we
investigate.
are outside, so I am going to feel a little colder, but this feels colder even than to me. Like what the temperature is, I'm feeling cold. Like I feel like I'm going to
Doesn't
shiver.
think- yeah.
Yeah. Right here, especially, just I felt it. So something's going on.
It could be like somebody trying to draw energy, probably, and that could maybe affect your phone.
With the lighting and things that are happening. Yes.
You know what? Let's ask.
Sure. Let's do it.
Hey, we got the truth thing here.
Yes, we got the L rods.
Yes. Right. How am I doing on battery, Jeff? Just we don't know. Okay. Oh,
That's all.
okay. All right. Ready when you're on.
Sure. Let's bring them up.
Okay, we're good. Okay.
Let's bring them up. Okay.
So, okay, now.
If there is anyone here in this courtyard who would like to communicate with us, can you please move the rods? If there's anybody here in the courtyard who would like to communicate with us, would you please move the rods? Is there more than one of you in this courtyard with us? If there is more than one of you in the courtyard with us, can you please move the rods? That's really interesting because the wind's blowing in the opposite direction of the way that's moving.
All right.
So the wind isn't doing that. Yeah. If there is more than one of you in this courtyard with us right now, would you please uncross the rods? If there is more than one of you, would you please uncross the rods? If you are a male, can you please cross the rods? If you are a male, would you please cross the rods? I get boys.
Mhm.
The children that I'm picking up, it's getting pretty clear to me that it's boy. If you lived in the 1800s, would you please uncross the rods? If you lived in the 1800s, would you please uncross the rods? If you lived in the 1900s, would you please uncross the rods? Sometimes pinpointing the time is difficult again because they don't, where they are, it's a different time experience.
1700s.
Still the same man, you think, or 1700s for
The boys.
the boy? If you lived in the 1700s, can you please uncross the rods? If you lived in the 1700s, okay? We're getting some old ones here. The oldest I got once was an Indian once
Oh, wow.
from
I'm gonna reset. Just
yeah,
Okay.
from I want to say the 1600s.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience. They were they didn't know the quarter the way that we know the quarter. They didn't know this area as being inhabited except by Indians. So, what questions would you like to ask? What are you feeling? I keep feeling a boy. I keep getting an R sound in the name. I keep getting an R sound in one of the boys' names.
Okay. Let's do that. I have picked up on a name also. Joseph.
Okay. There could be more than one.
Yeah.
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 Definitely.
Yeah, they were saying there was more than one. So,
Yeah. Okay.
I tend to hear things phonetically, and so I get sounds of people's names. Like somebody in the old days when we used to take Dixie cups and tie a string
Right.
to them, and you would talk through them, and you'd hear, and that's kind of the way that I hear things, almost like it's coming through a Dixie cup or coming underwater. It's interesting.
You know how I get mine?
Yeah,
I get mine. It's a flash.
as a flash. Okay.
It'll be like a name. Boom. Like how your grandfather's name. It just it'll just come to me like
Jumped out.
it'll just like a flash. The name will just go through, and I know that means something. Yeah.
One of the problems I think we're going to have out here, though, with the rods is that it's getting windy.
Okay.
And so in instances like that, it's just too much of a margin of error. That
We
it could be the
don't
wind.
want people
Yeah.
thinking
mess with equipment.
Yeah,
There you go.
okay.
Say something now.
Okay. Testing. Sorry about that, y'all. 1, 2, 3, testing.
It's delayed, so
Okay.
you know.
I've
Okay.
had batteries drained.
Mhm.
I did. I was doing. I think the last time that happened, I was at Muriel's, and I was with the Today Show, and they drained the batteries on it. They went through 2 packs of batteries, and it was just. The
Yeah, that
spirits
happens
messing
a
with it.
lot. Yeah. Especially if someone's, you know, a psychic medium, and you have all that around you all the time.
Yeah.
It'll,
Yeah.
you know.
Sometimes
You had to have a-
spirits and electricity. Again, I'm not the.
Yeah,
you know.
it's totally. It's from that plug. We have to watch that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're back on good now.
All right. All right. Great.
Good.
Okay. So you want me to go first, or
Yeah,
or you?
I'll go first. Yeah.
Always
no problem.
and scary place. I always say, Cari, go first.
Yeah, that's okay.
You need to follow close behind.
I'm right with her.
And I can stay close.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Woo,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. I get the lightheaded again. Got the lightheaded feeling. We've got the. I don't think we're going to be able to do here. Oh, well, let's move further.
Well, let's
and get
go.
away
Yeah,
with
let's
the-
go away from the fan.
Whoa, okay, watch out.
Okay. There's a. Y'all be careful. There's a step. Oh,
Now, when
I got you.
Watch. Carry's wire.
I got you.
No, you're
Your left foot is on Carry's wire.
That's 2 wires I
Your left
stepped
foot
up.
is on Carry's wire.
okay. There we go.
Gracias.
Hold on.
Okay. All right.
This we go.
Okay,
I think
now
we're
you need
good-
to
we're
go.
good for Mercury retrograde.
I think so. I mean, so far as.
Brand, help Carry, please.
Okay.
Here we go. Hold on.
You got it?
This is what happens when you go. I like to dress up for my spirit stuff.
You want to.
Let's
You need to go here? Okay. All right.
Well, here we have a place that looks like it's not habitable back there. Okay, we put somebody in one of those
Okay.
rooms.
So we're just going to sit here just a minute.
Just gonna stand.
So that was our trip into the alleyway.
Yes, that was the trip into the alley.
I got it out of my system.
Yeah. I'm not really feeling much.
Yeah.
I think
It just looks creepy.
It looks creepy, but I'm not really feeling much activity.
Yeah. All right. Sorry for the.
No, that's fine.
I'm zooming in on the full
and follow
moon.
follow your vibes.
Where is the moon?
Oh, the
I don't
moon.
see
I
it.
don't know if I got any vibes. I just thought it was creepy.
It is creepy. Yeah, it's very creepy
I
back here.
can't see the moon.
Right above
Alleyway.
that house. See it? Right above those.
Oh,
houses.
no,
there
I'm
you
too
go.
far down the alley.
Okay.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, there's a step right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Here.
Okay. Woo, I'm getting that
That-
lightheaded.
The colder.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's definitely. This is a club that I like. Maybe up there. There we go. Okay. Should we go to that room right there?
Sure.
Why don't we check that one out.
Let's
and
do
then
it.
I think we should try this. I don't know how I'm going to do it though. I'm really terrified of heights.
What if I held your hand going up? Would that help or no?
No, it doesn't.
It don't matter?
I'm fine with dead people. Really, they don't scare me at all. But
Heights aren't my favorite either, I must say. So I do feel for Cari. Like she said, she's not scared of ghosts, but heights, yeah,
everybody's got their thing.
they do, and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
No. So 108, here we are. 108 is the magic spiritual number in Eastern mysticism.
Okay.
You will often find that mantras are repeated 108 times. And so let's see if maybe Gandhi's in there. No, I'm just joking. No, but there's something that's a nice number.
Right. And it's a different feeling
It's a very
from
different
104,
feeling.
exactly.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, let's do that.
I want to sit on the bed just a second.
Yes, not bad.
Just give me, I just need a second on the bed.
Just sit down on the bed for a second.
Oh, yes.
So y'all, what about that storm?
Oh, I know.
That storm was something. Spirits get picked up when there's storms happening. Post Katrina, this place was haunted.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, when I came back, and I couldn't come into the quarter. I couldn't. I could go as far as on the down on Decatur, and I couldn't come further into quarter because when I would come back to the quarter, it would feel like somebody was punching me in my gut.
I can imagine.
It was pretty active.
Mm-hmm.
So this room, to me, personally, feels lighter.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
How about our tech people? How do y'all feel in here? Are you, by following us, are you feeling any differences?
Well, I do. Not in this room.
Yeah,
In
this room's
room,
cool.
This room, I'm like,
Chill.
want to go crawl in the bed and take a little
Go to
nap.
sleep.
Yeah. This room, I'm like, I don't know. I don't really feel.
It's got a lot of blue in it, and to me, blue has always been calming.
Yes.
So
Yes.
even if there was something, I think just seeing the blue.
Would offset it a little bit. Yeah, I wasn't scared in the other room. I just don't like treading somewhere where I felt like we were invading somebody's space. Is how I felt in the other room.
And, like if we kept pushing, it probably could have went bad. Like that, so.
Yeah.
Like if he kept feeling that we were being intrusive and not being respectful or getting on his nerves, it could have went a different way.
I lost connection.
Okay.
You guys can
we're still going on?
Yes,
Okay.
yours is still going. Okay, and we're back.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there we go. See?
Just a lot of,
those little glitches are definitely the spirits letting us know that we're on the right track here. So we were talking about the place being chill, and we were talking about that spirit that didn't really want us there.
And that's when it
And
happened.
That's when it happened.
So I should shut up about it.
Well, I think we will honor that spirit. It definitely felt male.
Oh, definitely.
Male. So let's recap a little about what we've been sensing here so far. We were in the front, and we connected with a male, 20 to 40 years old. It went out again. Is it out still? Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is what happens, man. It's crazy. It is. This is the life of a paranormal
Even though
investigator.
I said I felt calm in this room,
Yeah.
your phone obviously
It
does
did
not
not.
agree.
Yes, it did not feel. So hopefully it'll come back on. But we found a male, 20 to 40, said that they were here from the 1700s. We found a woman who we felt was here from the 1800s, who worked here, was connected to this location.
And protective of it.
Protective of it, yeah. Many spirits they hang around to protect things. That's the same way that I would protect my home. They're protecting their home. And if somebody worked here, they would have still an affinity to that. And somebody who worked in the Monteleone, they have a spirit of somebody who worked there. Did it come back? Yeah. And the person just keeps showing up to work every day and messes with the doors downstairs.
Okay.
But the woman worked here. She could have been a housekeeper, a maid. If there were kids, she could have been a nanny.
Could have been.
Right.
You did say that you saw her kind of like in a kitchen.
Yeah, like kind of busying around, like, I'm not saying like she was a cook or anything, but maybe she was making like plates or something for her. Like I got more of a, I'll stand up just a moment, but I got more of a housekeeper type, nanny type vibe, like she was kind of, like looking after this one or some of maybe children or responsible for the upkeep of whatever that room was.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, should we, I think let's just do this as natural and,
Okay.
I feel in this space again, it's chill. I don't
It's
really
chill.
feel, that there is a resident in this room per se. I feel like whoever's in here is coming with us, not necessarily because they're located in this room. Although I feel like some people could feel in this whole place that people are being watched. I wonder if we'll have to ask Jeff if he...
We'll have to do
if
that.
he has had people say that they felt like they were being watched when they were in bed or anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there anywhere else that you would like to go? Are you good or
I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Let's see. We could try. I mean, I could try to make that. I think I can't.
okay. Well, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then later on, Catherine and I we're staying in room 208,
Yes, yeah.
which is not currently, but reportedly one of the most haunted rooms.
Yes.
And so we will later on tonight we'll go live.
Sure.
That's all right with you,
Yeah,
and then
all right.
we'll investigate there in that room.
Yeah. I'll try.
You sure?
Try.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to try.
If everybody can.
You guys want to take it down for a little moment?
Yeah, and then we'll
regroup.
yeah, that's what we'll do. And we want to you want us to what?
Regroup.
Oh, and then start filming when we're back up there. You want to do that, Cari?
Yeah,
Oh, let's
sounds
do that.
wonderful.
Yeah, let's do that.
do
We're going
that.
to take just a little break, y'all, and y'all can just reconnect with us when we get back on live, and we'll be back hopefully in the most reportedly haunted room of the Andrew Jackson 208.
Yay.